The University of Wisconsin-Madison is a large public research institution. We're about 41,000 students. The level of technical experience all across our student body allows us a way to think about what we do as educators and integrate that into what students are already familiar with and give another avenue for education.
We found that those of us who were using technology in the classroom and outside of the classroom were covering 15 to 20% more material. But when we surveyed the students about the workload, they didn't perceive that it had gone up. So we're managing to do more, have them learn more without inflicting more pain. It's important to us to reach people who want to learn. The internet, and now in particular podcasting, is enabling us to do that. I've got students right now where we're using podcasts to deliver content, and they're on 4 continents. They're from 17 different countries. What they want is content delivered to them as podcasts. It's easy for them to access, it's easy for them to manage, it's easy for them to learn from. A lot of our students will watch our podcasts in iTunes, but a significant portion find that real value is taking it with them on the bus, on the airplane. We've tried to create true anytime, any place learning opportunities. So let me show you what it takes to go to iTunes U from our course website. As soon as iTunes U became available to us, I felt podcasting became a viable tool to actually use with our students. Every live class that I teach, I capture, convert to a podcast, and within an hour of the end of class, it's at iTunes U, and every time I post one of my podcasts, I don't have to notify the students because iTunes U notifies them for me. Long-termers like myself, this is my 33rd year at Wisconsin, get fired up by this. They get rejuvenated, they get engaged, and I see a lot of new ways to learn, new ways to enhance learning. I see a lot of smiles on people's faces when they talk about the new podcasts they've created for their students.
Our research goal is to develop computational tools to study the structure and function of biomolecules. That becomes very computationally intensive, and we use high-performance computing on XServe machines to search through possible configurations for the molecules, and then we try to generate accurate mathematical models that can predict the behavior of systems. For my lab, there's 20 desktop machines and 64 rackable machines, and every single one is Apple. I like having everything interface with everything else. All the machines are Macintoshes. We can remote mount the hard drives here. We have a central file server that's an Apple file server. In order to convey ideas and to show details of molecules, important details of molecules, it's essential to have good images. And now the technology is there where you can really blend art and science very easily on Apple products. Once upon a time, I was very unique in using Apple machines, but more and more people in the community are using Apple as a high-performance platform. As soon as OS X came out, there was no reason for me to use anything else.
Dayton is the digital academic television network. It is a way of watching television by using a network connection. We can do it on any computer. We deliver live TV over the network. Not only can you watch live TV, but you can actually search for and watch archived content as well. Anywhere the network is on campus, Dayton is. And so here's Dayton. We have a bunch of XServes. Each one of these XServes is encoding one live channel. We had this classic problem of needing to do something quickly and inexpensively and also do it well. And that's what brought us to using the Apple solution. With QuickTime, we have no licensing for the client, and we can support Mac OS X, Windows, Linux, Solaris, and these other platforms. It doesn't matter if there's 1 or 1,000 people watching the same broadcast. It's the same impact on the network. So we don't have to worry about the servers or the network becoming overloaded when people are watching Dayton. Dayton is not just TV on your computer. People can go to a web page and they can type in search terms, they can select channels, and for the last 3 years, they can search all the closed captioning content we have, and they get back the search results that they want. It becomes now not just a tool for watching live TV, but it becomes a really valuable media research tool.
We're interested in recording all of the lectures so medical students can watch them. Basically, we capture from a couple different sources in the lecture hall using QuickTime Broadcaster.
This lecture capture service has really helped students study when they want and help them manage their own time. In addition, it's also helped some non-traditional students who live in the rural communities. So these students watch all their lectures online.
Medications reflective of the past medical history, and how does that play with the history of the present illness?
We've got a statewide campus. We have educational programs going on around the state. It's a ton of content, and our vision is to capture all that content and put it into this video library, which means enormous amounts of storage.
The X-Ray is the lowest cost per gigabyte of storage you can buy, so hopefully we can just fill our server room with those and just keep recording all this great content that we have here.
We survey the students every year on this service. To what extent does this lecture capture service make you a successful medical student? And over 65% say it's essential to their success.
We have a thing here we call the Wisconsin idea. The Wisconsin idea is that the borders of learning aren't the buildings. The borders of learning aren't the city. The borders of learning aren't the state. I think 2 years from now, we truly will have a global learning network where the people we talk to, the people we teach, the people we learn from will be almost anywhere.
To the extent that an Apple product is accessible, is welcoming, that it's something that students embrace, that kind of welcoming message is critical. It gets them into it.